Hi, well, this is our full moon practice for full moon that is 7th, 8th of April. So I'll post this on the full moon day. More than ever, we're thinking about grounding and rooting mid the COVID virus. And as the moon becomes fuller, the energy rises, and sometimes we feel more uprooted than normal. So the practice is a practice of real focused alignment, steady, lots of grounding and anchoring and rooting, which hopefully will bring the energy back down and into our roots. My students will be familiar with this practice. I use this as a foundation for moon practices often, and some of us will remember this practice from retreats. I think in Gambia we had a full moon, certainly in India we had a full moon, and we've had full moons at the Yuva retreat in Turkey as well. So those of you that are doing this practice with me now that have also been in those places, maybe you can just close your eyes and be back there as well. So we'll start with breath. As always, we'll bring our hands to wherever we're comfortable. So maybe on your thighs, maybe you want to make a connection through your hands, through your fingertips to the floor. You can put your hands in your lap if you prefer, or on your body to connect to your breath. So just right from the first moment of your practice, thinking about what feels good for you. And then just attuning to your breath. So we're bringing awareness to Muladhara again, the root chakra's qualities, in order to center and ground ourselves. Feeling the heaviest part of the posture here, the pelvis, the legs, the base of our sukhasana, our posture. And just be aware of how your mind is as you begin, if your thoughts are busy. And in these first moments, we welcome whatever arises, but equally willing to let it go. Until we find ourselves really arriving in the body for the practice, so that we're present, so that we're sensate, and so that we're grounded. And you'll feel the qualities of your inhalations. So the rising energy, the prana vayu lengthening on all four sides of your torso. Expanding upwards. And then feel the qualities of the exhalation. So the apana vayu. Releasing tension away from the body. and really allowing the weight to fall into the base. You feel space between the teeth, softening, skin around the eyes. You feel that we're giving to the tug of gravity. Equalizing the breath. So the inhalation is wherever you're comfortable, so just lightly extending the breath to maybe 4 seconds. The exhale, same. And with each exhale, you're putting down your roots. And we'll just sit together for 5 more breaths here. You can bring your hands together just on your midline and invite receptivity, sensitivity into your practice. When you feel that you're ready, you can transition over and onto your hands and knees, so into tabletop pose. So tuck the toes under and spread through the hands. Root the index finger knuckle and the tips of all of your fingers, so you really feel the fingerprints pressing down into the mat. And then very, very slowly move the spine. So you press into the toe roots, the knees, the hands, you draw the tail under, you lift the middle back up. You bow the head down, you look inward. Yeah, and then you inhale and you move slowly in the other direction. Exhaling again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Really regulate your breathing. And do one more. And then rest back into child's pose. So you untuck the toes, you reach the sit bones back, you reach the arms forward, lengthen through both sides of your waist and bow down the head. You take a moment to lengthen and then soften the elbows down, let the tension flow away from your upper back and from your neck. Another breath. So you feel that you're setting tone for your practice, really calm, soothing energy. You bring yourself up and onto your hands and knees again. You find your alignment in tabletop pose. Then we're going to take the left leg back. So the left side is the moon side, so we'll be leading with the left side this evening. So the left leg is back. You're bringing the left leg up and in line with your sit bone, and really try and straighten the leg as if you're pressing the foot back into a wall behind you, so the foot's in dorsiflexion. You soften your elbows so you're not locking your joints. The tendency is to lift the left hip, in this case higher than the right, but try and drop down so the sacrum is parallel to the floor. Pull your femur, your thigh bone, into your hip and feel that firming into your centre, your pelvis, and then if you can, you take your right arm forward also. You bring the neck in line with the rest of your spine, and you take a breath or two here. Good. You're bringing your right hand down, you're spinning onto your right side. Now it's helpful if you take your right toes out a little bit wider, so you have that extra point of balance here, and you're going to put your left foot on the floor, and that left foot should be more or less in line with your right hand and with your right knee. Now the tendency is to lean the chest forward and stick the butt back behind us. Try and bring yourself onto a really nice even plane here. So it requires you to press your sacrum forward towards the long edge of the mat in front of you. Open your chest and your belly space. Maybe just bring your hand over your navel and feel that that space is open. And try and lengthen from your left foot all the way through to the crown of your head. Press into your left foot, lift the inner arch of your left foot. Use that foot to help you find the alignment. And then when you feel that you have alignment here, you can lift that leg again. You want to bring the leg parallel to the floor again. And then if you feel that you have your balance, you can take the arm all the way up. Be sure not to stress your neck. You can look up if it feels okay, but you might rather look forward. And try and hold the posture steady through the center. So you're not putting all of the weight into the heel of this right hand. You want this contact to be almost light into the hand. So you're not too heavy here. So firm into the center, reach out in all directions. Feel that the posture is nice and light in that right hand. Take one more breath. If you feel super steady, close your eyes. And then when you're ready, bring yourself down nice and slow so the transition is smooth back to tabletop pose. Good. When you're ready, downward facing dog. So keep the transition slow. Find the roots of the posture and then grow from there into your dog. Look back at your feet, spread your fingers and your toes. Let's just bend the knees here. So you squat dog. Keep pressing back away from your hands as you take the knees down. So you just feel that you fire up your quads a little bit here as you hover. Back to your dog when you're ready. Good. Ripple through into plank. So tuck the tail first. Come forward and stack your shoulders over your wrists. Really try and find integrity in your alignment here, so make sure you're not collapsing in the center. Lower down slowly. You reach your legs back, put your forehead down, hands alongside your chest, elbows are in. Keep the back bend relatively easy. So when you're ready, maybe initiate with the exhale. Rise up just a little bit on your inhale. And when you're ready, release again. Perfect. We're going back to downward facing dog. So again, keep your transition nice and slow. You come tabletop. Back into dog. And just check into all four corners of your dog. Take a long inhale. Send the exhale into the roots. And then when you're ready, and you might want to bring your right foot a little bit closer to your left, the left leg ascends. So very, very slowly with dorsiflexion in the left foot, take the left leg up and into split dog. Now try not to throw the pelvis over to one side. Keep your pelvis square as you can. Really charge the left leg, lift into the heel. And then when you're ready, you bring that leg slowly and quietly through, and you place your left foot in between your hands for a lunge. The left hip squares back. The right heel reaches back. You find length and space. And then very slowly we lower the right knee. So as you lower the knee, you feel the hip flexors and the quads lengthen. The toes curl under. The heart lifts and the collarbones widen. Exhale down into the foundation again. We bring ourselves up from here, but the energy comes from the ground again. So you press down. As you bring yourself up, the tail draws down and the heart lifts. So you're reaching down through your tail. You kind of imagine that you're turning the wheel of your pelvis so that the tail is reaching down, the front of the pelvis is lifting. You're taking any pressure out of your lower back. And then you could take your arms up and the arms just lengthen like an extension of your side waist. You feel opening through both sides of your body. You can keep your neck neutral or you can turn your gaze up. Good. When you're ready, come slowly down. Find the toes of your right foot so that you can take really smooth transition back into dog. Steady your breath. Lower down your knees. Both knees touch down exactly together. And then we'll begin that same sequence on the other side. So you start by taking your right leg back and in line with your pelvis. Nice straight leg if you can, dorsiflex your foot. You can glance back. A lot of us will externally rotate here and that tends to cause us to lift that half of the pelvis as well. So it's worth just having a little look back, checking your alignment. Pull the femur into the hip so you feel that you're firm in your centre, and then take your left arm forward. Make sure you're not locking the right elbow. One more breath. Left hand is down. You might want to turn your left toes out a few inches and the right foot comes to the floor. So the first thing you do is check that your left hand, your left knee, your right foot are all in the same line. And then you open your belly, press your sacrum forward, and it's as if you're reaching your tail down towards that back heel. So you open your lower back. And then when you feel that you're on this nice even plane, the leg lifts. And again, you look for parallel to the floor. Good. Make sure you're breathing well. You can take the arm up. You can look up. If that stresses your neck, maybe just look forward. Try not to feel that you're too heavy in your left hand, so you can just there look for a little bit of lightness in that hand. And then if you feel you have your balance, maybe you can close your eyes for a moment or two, really firm up, pull the femur into the hip. One more breath. Good, come down nice and slow. You're coming into downward dog, so from the ground up. Maybe dog squat here. Ripple through into plank.
Front supports the back. Lower down, nice and slow. Try and lengthen, so you reach back through your legs, put your forehead down, back of the neck, base of the skull, spacious, elbows in, hands alongside your chest. And then slowly press down the tops of the feet, lift the heart. You can maybe ride up a little bit more on your inhale, but make sure you're not being forceful. Slowly down. Slow transition, back to your dog. Good. Again, you breathe here. You need some time in child's pose, of course, that's always okay. Your left foot may be a little bit closer to your right foot and your right leg slowly rises. So coming into split dog. Just resisting the urge to come into this too quickly. Reaching up into your right heel, feeling connection between the heel of your right hand, the heel of your right foot. Coming through slowly and quietly. Stride through. You square back your right hip. Reach back through your left heel. Try and widen the collarbones, draw the heart forward. Lower the left knee slowly. You feel the opening in the front of your left thigh. And you can stay here, take this as modification, or you can press into the foundation. Draw the tail down, lift the ribs. Feel that you again turn the wheel of the pelvis, so it's tail down, front of the pelvis lifting. Navel space is opening, lower back is open. And then just one arm at a time, you lengthen all the way through the sides of your body. You can draw the thumbs back a little bit more to open your shoulders. When you're ready, slowly down. Find the foundation in your left toes. Smooth transition into downward dog. Good, nice big exhale. All the way down. And into your roots. When you're ready, walk your feet forward. Small steps are fine. Into Uttanasana. Lift the heart. Breastbone forward. And then exhale and fold. Good. So allow yourself to be here for a moment. Feel that you're surrendering the weight of your head, releasing your neck. Again, sometimes sighing can be helpful. Just assisting us to let go. For one more breath. Good. When you're ready, bend the knees. Press the feet, feel the energy ascending through your legs, so through the shins and the femurs, and really installing in your hips, your pelvis. And you just ride that energy all the way up to standing, to Tadasana. You drop your tail, you lift your heart, check your alignment. Bring your hands back to your midline when you're ready. Good. Try toe raise here. So you need to keep drawing your tail down, drawing your abdomen towards your spine, so you keep your pelvis neutral, and you rise, ascend directly up and into the crown of your head. See if you can bide there for a moment or two. And then lower slowly down. Good, feel the feet open and connect a little bit more. And then when you're ready, you bend your knees and you sit down and back. So it's preparation for Utkatasana. You can sit far down if it's okay for you. You can sit all the way down if it's okay for you. If you don't have to lift your heels or change the alignment of your knees. And then we bring ourselves up and into Utkatasana. Now stabilize your pelvis. So make sure you're not arching your back. Neither are you tucking your tail and rounding your back. So you find that middle ground. Drop your shoulders and take a long breath. One more. Good. When you're ready, you fold forward all the way down. You lift your heart and you lengthen. And then step your left leg back and find the foot pattern for Warrior Two. So just stay here for a moment and really stabilize. Feel into the foundation, connect to the roots. Start to turn the lower hip under a little bit. Really feel the back foot. Make sure that inner arch of your back foot is lifting and you're really engaging down and into the blade of the foot, the outer edge of the foot. And then when you're ready, your transition into Warrior Two is nice and smooth. You drop down your tail. Try and align your armpits right over your hip creases. Your arms parallel to the floor. And glance down at the front knee. Make sure you're not letting the knee fall in, tracking over your toes. One more breath. Good. You can straighten the front leg. Again, try and keep that nice alignment so your knee is facing the same direction as your toes. Don't lock your leg or overextend it. And then lengthen forward. Now keep the arms parallel to the floor to begin with. You feel that this front femur feeds back into your pelvis. You lengthen both sides of your waist. And then you bring yourself into Trikonasana. Now keep it moderate. Really think about not reaching all the way down to the floor, but rather think about maintaining alignment, keeping your frontal space open, your back nice and long. Ease the neck out if you need to, you don't have to look up. When you're ready to come up, you bend the front knee, press down. You rise back up and just sink down and find that warrior two again. Steady here. Now you might want to stay here. Alternatively, you can come into Ardha Chandrasana for a moment or two. So standing on your right foot, your right hand needs to come diagonally across from your baby toe. And you can use a block here if it helps, so your hand is a little higher. You shift the weight onto your right foot and you press down into your right foot to raise your left leg up. You think about really charging the left leg so it's nice and strong. Opening your right hip so you move the pelvis around the head of the right femur. You lengthen your spine, open your belly space. If it feels okay, you could take this arm up. Maybe for one more breath. We're stepping back to our front edge now. If you can step straight into Tadasana from here, that would be lovely. Good. And you feel the difference there between the two sides of your body, this anchoring through your right side. And then we go ahead and we repeat the sequence to the other side. So with the hands in front of your heart, your tail dropping, you rise up onto your toe roots. You sustain that balance for a moment. And then you lower your heels. We sink down, and part way is fine, especially if your knees are vulnerable. Further, only if it feels okay. Coming up and into Utkatasana and being sure to stabilize your pelvis here. When we're ready, we forward fold. We lift the heart, lengthen, and we step back the right foot this time. So you're standing with your left foot forward, engage through your right leg. Again, you make sure that you're keeping the inner ankle, the inner arch of your right foot lifted. You're engaging down into the blade of your foot. You find the foundation here. Really anchor down. So the transition up and into warrior is nice and smooth. Drop down evenly into both sit bones. Try and feel that both sides of the waist are the same length. So we're not here. Good. Front knee is tracking over your toes. Long inhale. Long exhale. straighten the front leg. Again, be sure that you're not overextending the knee here. Keep sending the weight down and into the toes, into the ball of your foot. That helps us maybe to prevent overextending this knee. And then you lengthen. So as you come into this, try and feel that you are not letting the hips move back and the chest forward, but that you're keeping on this really nice even plane. And then coming into Trikonasana and keeping it moderate. A lot of us feel that we have to have this hand all the way down on the floor, and it often really compromises our alignment. So just take the hand part way, try not to lean too heavily on your leg, open your belly space, your heart space. Try not to grip with your toes, but keep reaching out through your toes. And the arm comes up. Now you can look up, or you can look forward. Try and keep your neck easy. Your heart wide open. For one more breath. We look down, bend the knee, press into the feet, come up, find your warrior again. And certainly we might want to stay here, or we can choose to come into our Ardha Chandrasana, so you know your left hand diagonally across from your left foot. So you have these two really nice clear points of balance, and then your right leg starts to lift. And we charge the right leg, so we straighten out, push back through the foot. And then it's this hip, it's the left hip that you open by moving the pelvis around the femur head. You start to open your belly space, your heart space. Again, just like the kneeling version, try not to be too heavy in this hand. Stabilize through your center, reach out in all directions. If it feels okay, you can take this arm up. It's a long breath. When it feels like enough, maybe we can float back to our Tadasana again. And then stand in your body for a moment or two. Good. Turn the toes out a few degrees. And drop down and into Malasana, providing it's okay for you. If the posture stresses your knees, drop down onto your seat, maybe come into Baddha Konasana. We're going to come there in a moment or two anyway. If Malasana is okay for you, make sure the heels are dropped down. If not into the floor, you can use a block or blocks underneath your heels so that you can release down into your heels. And that dropping into your heels, it helps to unlock your hips and open your lower back. Nice steady breath again. Focus on those exhalations. When it feels like enough, you can release down into your seat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Find your way into Baddha Konasana. If support helps, you can just prop the back of your seat. Try and let the spine lengthen. If you need to draw up a little bit here, you can hold your ankles, widen your collarbones. You pull up and back to create the energy to lift and open your heart. You might not need to. You stay for a moment or two until you feel again centered and grounded, settled. If you'd like to take this forward, you could. Remember not to strive here, so keep it relatively easy. It's worth trying to lift your heart forward to create space and then be coming into the posture again. Again. Come slowly up. Straighten the legs out in front of you. You might still want some support here depending on how your pelvis aligns in Dandasana. If your hamstrings are tight, they pull the sit bones underneath you. So in that case, a little bit of support under the back of your pelvis can really help. Try and broaden your sit bones. Release down into your foundation, so the backs of your legs, your sit bones, your hands, you lift and open your heart. Dandasana. Again, you can stay here, or you can come forward. I want to widen those sit bones as you come forward. Again, it might help is to lift and lengthen, and then to return down and into your fold. So take one more breath. And then come slowly up. Good. We'll finish with a twisted posture. So if you'd much prefer, you could take a supine twist here, a Jatara Parivartanasana. I'm going to take a cross-legged seated twist. Have your left leg, we're going to twist to the left first. So have your left leg in front of your right leg, or if you know that it's okay for you, you could bring this left leg up and on top. Again, sometimes
A little support is useful. So we lengthen the spine. And then we're turning to the left. You can leave the left hand on the floor behind you. You can bring the left hand around and bind to your right leg if you're in Sukhasana. Or if you're in half lotus here, you can maybe bind your left hand to your left foot. And we sit tall. And we breathe. Again, be really sure that you're not forcing or striving, so you should feel no stress in your left knee. You might want to release your neck. And then when you feel ready, you can just repeat the same posture to the other side. So it will be your right leg in front of your left, or you can bring your right leg on top if that's okay for you. And again, make sure there is no stress in your right knee. You lengthen your spine and then you turn slowly around your center. So in this case, right hand can be on the floor behind you, or you can come around towards your left thigh, or possibly towards your right foot. Make sure you're not striving. This is your last posture before we start to wind down and relax. So the spine lengthens. Nice clear breath. Sending those exhales all the way down and into your roots. Releasing your neck if you need to. So to release the neck, you'll look left and then maybe drop the chin in a little bit. You feel that lovely stretch all the way through the neck and the trapezius, the shoulder. You can look back over that right shoulder when you're ready. Release when you're ready. We'll take ourselves back to laying down, back to supine. If you like to have padding under your head, make sure you don't change the alignment in your neck too much. So you don't want too much underneath your head. And just feel again your midline, your center, your alignment either side of your midline. We'll maybe hug the knees in and just gently squeeze in, feel the space around your hips, your lower back. Releasing down when you're ready. And of course, you can stay in this version, semi-supine, or you can take your legs all the way down. I think it's worth just lifting the head here and looking down the midline, checking your alignment. It's also quite a nice way just to release the back of the neck and around the base of your skull. Releasing down, dropping the arms out to the sides. If you prefer to turn your palms in and rest your hands on your abdomen, that's okay as well. You might like to sigh the first couple of breaths of your relaxation
relaxation away in Shavasana. Just sighing and feeling the body drop, feeling the body release. And relaxing here the face. So again, the skin around your eyes. The jaw. Soften the tongue. Check that your neck is comfortable, your shoulders are dropping, your arms, your hands relaxed, your spine aligning. Feel space. Your hips, your knees, your ankles. Relaxing the legs and all the way down towards your feet and your toes. And just allow yourself to rest with calm, quiet energy for another 4 or 5 breaths. When you feel that you're ready, you can start to move. Maybe to start with, it's just your fingers and your toes. You can stretch out your arms, your legs when you feel that you're ready. Very slowly bring yourself up to sitting. And just be sure that you're warm. You can bring your hands to your center when you're ready again, your midline. And take a moment to notice how you feel. You can bring yourself into a little bow forward.
Namaste. And take a look at the moon tonight. Thank you.